This guy's shorting out. What up? True Degen. What's going on, brother? Try again. Okay. Why? Let's try this again. It's always something, I swear. They make it.
Where's the link? Where's the link?
I can't tell if I'm live. No, we're live. We are live. Live and direct. The crypto quickie. You know. Here with the homie Carti. Tradeboi Carti in the house. Not financial advice. Shout out to Oracle Hershiser, one of my favorite names in the game. Mr. Chew, that's a good dude. True Degen, Danny Tam. What up, everybody? Gonna get through this real quick. Got Carti here.
Where the fuck is the link?
The link. Okay. Chain link.
Yeah. I clicked the link that you have on Twitter, and it goes right to your profile. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
show
that's
the video.
well. I mean, use your head. Here's the link. People are slow though, so yeah, we live. There it goes.
Where's the link?
Calm down, Carti. Calm down.
Where did you post it on Twitter?
Yeah, I just posted it on Twitter. Here we go. What's up, Rom? How you doing? Hope you guys enjoyed that last stream with Stillman.
Oh, there we go.
Seriously undervalued, in my opinion. I don't think anybody watched that one, the Uniswap one. Gave out a lot of information there, man. Like Caltoro in the house. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Yeah, I feel great. had a nice weekend. Went to the Adirondack Mountains. Celebrate that July 4th. We shot off fireworks. Went with my wife and my best friend and his wife, and then my brother and his powerlifting buddies came with us, and we went whitewater rafting and drank a lot and just had a good time. Yeah, look at beat up, man. Listen, Carti, what huh?
Mike Chang, is that Mike Chang, the six-pack abs guy? Six-pack shortcuts?
I don't
Who
know.
is that?
so, so as you know, I have three sons, right? And I have like a 2.5-year-old and a 10-month-old. So like those two, throughout crypto, like the past 3 years, I've had like little babies. So you combine the stress of trading, running a private group, and raising two little ass kids with a wife who's hormonal and all this shit. And it's tough. It's tough. Like some of the older guys will get this, Carti. You're not there yet, but wait till you have kids, man. This shit is no joke. And your wife gets crazy. Plus, you got kids sleeping in your bed and shit. You can't be intimate when you want to as much as you used to, if you get what I'm saying. So we really needed this week off, or weekend off at the Airbnb. Oh, it is six-pack abs, Mike Chang. Yeah, so so you know, I'm getting older. I'm good, but it's like the thing is, you get that time with your wife, no kids in the house, nothing. You want to make sure to make it count. And if you're not used to doing that, the party could be over before it gets started, if you know what I'm saying. So, on the way up, going to get gas, I'm in the gas station picking up some gas, and I'm looking behind the counter. They got these ginseng type herbal Viagra shits behind the counter, right? So I'm like, fuck it, I might pick one of these up. So I did, of course. So let me tell you something. These shits work. Like when I say they work, like it's fucking. You look like a maniac. It's like it's crazy. Like the way it works, because I never took regular Viagra, but they have
Why
these
not?
things behind the
You're not taking
counter.
regular?
No, it's like some other shit. I don't know what it is or what's in it, but let me tell you, it fucking works. Like it's like you remember when you were a kid. I don't know if about you, but like I was like a horny ass kid, and there were times where you just get a boner and like you couldn't control it. You didn't know why. You wasn't thinking about anything, and like something awkward would happen. You're like, fuck. Like how do I hide this? But it's kind of like that. You're like getting hard for no reason for the whole weekend. So like so much like so like I'm like here we are. We're coming back from whitewater rafting, and we're taking a bus back, and I have like this life preserver on. I didn't have a shirt on, and all of a sudden I feel it. It's coming, like it's like crazy. And I'm like, fuck, like I'm about to get off this bus, and they're saying when you get off the bus, you got to give the life preserver to the attendant and this and that. And I'm just going to be sitting there in like some bathing shorts and like a raging boner. so so I started thinking about charts and shit, trying to get my mind off it. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was able to hide it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might be having another kid after this weekend because we had a lot of fun. But
Well,
you know, I,
you need more of those.
yeah, I don't need more. Yeah, long boner pills. It doesn't just give you. I mean, it's ridiculous. But here's the deal: like, there's a cost. It's not like it's just party time. Like, it gives you the worst fucking headache, like you could imagine, man. Like the headache is so bad. So like for the whole weekend, here I am. I'm like getting paranoid. Like, did I get COVID or something? I'm like, no, it's the fucking boner pills. Like that's what your headache is from. But I'm like constantly checking my temperature and freaking out. But like today, I finally started to become normal again. So I don't think I have COVID. I'm not gonna take those pills again. But if you haven't tried it, it is quite fun. It is pretty fun. So, you know, some of you probably didn't want to hear that, but it is what it is. I just figured I'd share with you in case you ever saw them behind the counter at the gas station and was like wondering, do they work? Yes, they do. They do. Anyway, all right. So we have Carti's BTC chart up behind us. Um, you want to talk about this real quick?
Yeah, this one's pretty simple. This is for if you want to say the guys in the group, the guys watching who are maybe just spot traders or um, just high time frame guys. They like focusing maybe on alts right now because those are the things to do, and they take perhaps the occasional alt trade, or they're unsure pretty much right now because this range right here has been chopping people up, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've been doing pretty well, but the majority of people have been getting chopped up, right? So the way I see it here is if you're a high time frame guy and you're really unsure, you got to look at it two ways. You got to say to yourself, okay, like I'm bullish above 94.80 and I'm bearish below 89.78. Then you could at least listen. We haven't gotten to 94.80 yet, but 89.78 or so, 89.70. We've been there several times. You can just see it, and they keep buying it up. They bought it up so many times here, right? So they bought it like I don't know how many times that one, two, three, four, five times. And then if you were short this past weekend, below 9K, you're probably already blown out right now, right? So um, the bulls are present. I mean, every time they've bought it, it hasn't really pumped up much. But last today, obviously, it pumped up to at least like 93.90. But again, it doesn't mean the bulls have anywhere to write home about yet. I'm more so leaning bullish, yes, just based on the way that I trade. But like I said, if you're a high time frame guy, you want clear confirmation of that 94.80 turning into what 89.78 is right now. You see those wicks every day; it's closing above it. You want the same thing to happen if we get above 94.81 or 94.80. You want every single time to see that buyback getting closed above. And if you're a spot guy, maybe you want to buy that. And then the reason I put those X's there, I mean, a lot of people look at them as like a meme or something like that, but there's liquidity, right? Like it's never revisited that to go back down. So I mean, there's going to be stops placed above all those. I mean, I don't know how many stops are still waiting above 10K, 10.5, or sorry, 10K. But I mean, say if someone shorts 9,800, they're going to be placing their stops above that wick because you get above that third X. It's a different market, right? So I think personally, if we flip into 94.80, it's a different market. I think that could be finally the formation of a trend. I think if we go on either side of these two black lines that I pointed out, we could form a trend as opposed to a range whether it's bull or bear. I mean, you shouldn't care. This is just for the high time frame guys. On the other chart that I sent you, the other chart.
Got it. So this is a more of a lower time frame.
Yeah, this is the hourly. And it's just pretty simple, right?
Thanks, Mario. And what up, Farhan? Long time no see. Yeah. Hope you're doing good. Sorry.
It's all right. I think the stream is a bit delayed here.
Yeah, it always is. But you got your chart in front of you. You could do it.
Yeah, so people
It's
can
up.
see it, all
I
right?
have
So
it up.
like
Yeah.
All right, so like if you're looking to buy here, you want to see the reactions of the nine. If long a pullback. Yeah, okay, I got it. You want a long a pullback here. You want that 92.50 to be your first area of interest. Okay. Me personally, I'm leaning more so being heavier in like the 91 100 area
I
up
like
down to
that.
90.50, but 92.30 there, seeing the reaction, maybe not knife catching it, but maybe seeing the reaction. If bulls are present, then you would look on the 1 minute or whatnot. Um, would see if this is just a short squeeze or um, bulls really stepping up, because the beauty about Bitcoin is that these bulls, they had what fucking what is it, almost 3 weeks to buy 9K, and they have every time, and we never got back to 10, but they're buying 9K, and then if you look at like open interest, like now all of a sudden they're buying the 9.3, like it's like a FOMO asset. It's a really really big FOMO asset,
Yep.
and the FOMO really pumps Bitcoin up, so it's just
You would
something to
also,
be
I
aware
mean,
of.
the other thing people need to be aware of is like when Bitcoin pumps $300 from this range, it's only like 3.5%, not like a
Yeah,
major move. And if you mind, I just like to comment on the chart. So we'll go back to the first one, 89.78 to 94.80. These are both very key levels. I have them somewhat similar, almost exactly to Cardi, but this is like a mini range within the larger shockwave. So the larger range is like a $2,000 spread, but this is more of like a mini
yeah,
range here. And if you look at where we are right now, we're towards the upper end of the mini range. So the regardless of how large the range is, typically as a trader, you don't want to be buying towards the top or shorting towards the bottom, right? Doesn't mean that you can't make a just because it's towards the top doesn't mean you just blindly short. But one thing that I've noticed with trading BTC is we'll just go back to Cardi's hourly. Like he mentioned he likes like around 9100, 9050. You know why? Because sometimes people, and like you said, it's a FOMO asset. Somebody right now is going to say, oh, this is the dip, and they're going to long. And they're going to put their stop probably somewhere here, like around 9175. They may not play it too tight, but a lot of stops will be around here. And they'll be like, all right, well, worst case scenario, it'll go to here. But you know, a lot of the times I find that the worst case scenario area is the spot that stops people out, as well as the spot where it reverses and bounces again. So I like to place my orders in spots that would actually hurt people. I start to think of, if I was feeling emotional and I wanted to participate right now and I long now, like where would be the area that would scare me and kind of make me either stop out, get liquidated, or flip my bias. And I think you've pinpointed it right around here. So between like 90.80 and 91.20, you could get a move down there. Now, not to say that this doesn't just keep going. That could happen too. But I don't mind not being in a position here. And if we break above 94.80 ish, 9500, then you could start to take a more aggressive approach and really have like more of a clear bias as to which direction this is going. And, last night in the dojo, we were discussing what to make of the price action, and this was when it was below 9100. But just to give you guys a little example here, if you can see my chart, I'm on the hourly here. I'll wait till it loads, but and I might as well pull up SPX too. So even if you guys aren't trading stocks, equities, like you should be aware of what's happening in those markets because Bitcoin is a risk asset, and if people are taking risk, even though the correlation kind of sometimes it'll be ultra sensitive, sometimes it isn't. In the past week, we actually saw stocks kind of break away from Bitcoin, so stocks were doing well, Bitcoin not as much. But you'll get these deviations in the short term. It doesn't mean that if a stronger move is happening in stocks, I would anticipate that Bitcoin I wouldn't want to be short if stocks are breaking out and crossing key levels. I would be very, very careful being short. Now, could it deviate and do something different? Yes, it could, but it's not a high probability play. So last night we were looking at Bitcoin where it was, and the futures for S&P opened overnight, and we started to break out here. This was what? Wait, where was it? July. Today's the 6th of the 5th. Yeah, so this is what was happening last night. So it breaks out, crosses this level. As soon as we get above that, this is like very, very bullish looking. So this is 10 o'clock at night last night. And where was Bitcoin? Let's see. July 5th. So we were here. Now, at this point, we're still below 9,100. This wick in the same hourly as stocks open, Bitcoin pumps, gets rejected. This trap shorts. This is a bear trap. This structure here, after a move, you have the low wick, nice pump, and then start to inch your way up, and you don't make a lower low. You're just making higher highs. Once this wick, which is also the neckline of this dump right here, as soon as it crosses this a second time, that's your signal that this is bullish. And you have the confluence with S&P pumping through the neckline as well. So if you were up and watching, then not everybody can be. But if you happen to be watching, and let's say you were short or waiting to long, I know breakout longs get punished often, but there are certain structures that I play that I have a pretty good sense. You also have the volume coming in here. Like, this is a high probability trade to me, in my opinion. So if you were watching that, you could have capitalized. And then now, if you long here, you're in the driver's seat and you can kind of manage your stops. But I guess I just wanted to bring that up to the point that, keep an eye on other markets. There is correlations there, even though it's not always immediate. But being that we were looking at stocks, we knew today was going to be a good day. Wasn't a great time to be shorting 9K. Also, keep in mind, BTC had the whole weekend to break 9K. We couldn't get any price acceptance below. And, you get 1, 2, 3 tries and no price acceptance. I mean, the logical assumption would be that now it needs to go the other way, because clearly it wasn't going below. So BTC couldn't hold below 9K. Stocks start to pump. That's your signal to long, or at least get out of shorts, right? So, yeah. NASDAQ all-time high. Bitcoin is risk on. Makes sense. Yeah. So, anything else to add to BTC, Cardi, before we move on?
No, not really. I mean, we're having a little bit of a pullback now,
Yep.
so you can imagine the people who were dumb enough to long 93.80 or so are,
Yeah, they're gonna feel the burn right now. It's
yeah, pretty much.
that's what always happens.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to buy other people's liquidations, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
sell their liquidations, whatever.
Mm-hmm. So for me, when I look at BTC, it's very simple. We have this and this, and right now we're still right in the middle. So it's like 2 months ago, I said I'm not really interested in trading this. I've seen this before. I know what this is. This is killing high leverage traders and not giving you much to play with. The only thing you can do is identify the range, the larger range, and then you have a smaller range, and you play the support and resistances within that range. And if you're longing 9K, you give it a little bit of room.
Right.
You can get wicks, but you can long 9K and your stop could be at like 8,800, and then just manage your risk. And if you're longing there, your first target's around 94.50, and then your second target's 10K. So just kind of like, and we could talk about that. So if you guys caught the last stream, I gave you guys some logic as far as how to take profit, how to re-enter. The same would apply to Bitcoin. So like, let's say you were long from 9K and you're playing till 10K. Even though it would be very bullish if we started to move up there, it's still in your best interest to take profit there. Like if it breaks 10K or if it hits 10K, you should take profit there. Wait to see, wait for it to prove itself, and you can enter. So if you let's say you sell 10K and you buy 10.6, right? You're only missing 6% of the price action. Where if it goes to 10.6, I would feel very confident that we're going to get more upside out of the move. So you're giving up 6%, but then you're risking nothing. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at vet, this is what I was saying on the last stream. And on the last stream, I said, if it goes to like 106 or 107 sats, I'm just going to market buy it because then I feel extremely comfortable with the direction that price is going. This is incredible bullish momentum. So you have this long ass bull flag. This is a really long flag that broke out. So very simple. Like, I'm no just. This is a crash cycle. This is the bear market of the crash cycle right here. This is accumulation. You get a fake out to the neckline, back down to the accumulation level right here. When I see that, I say, okay, this is good upside. So when it revisits, and if you look at charts, you'll see that this happens often. So this part is the part where it sucks everybody in. Then this is the capitulation. Then this is the part where people get hopeful. The knife catchers, the people that think they bought the bottom, get really excited here and here, and then it kicks them all out. And then here, this part of the cycle is where nobody talks about it anymore. And then you slowly start to grind up. And once you actually cross this wick, I know this chart is messy, but hopefully you're following along, then you start to entertain the possibility of bullish momentum. And if you go back to like maybe I think it was like 4 streams ago, around here, this is where I said pay attention to vet. I like it. We go back to 100. This is basically where I said this is going back to 100. I got out here because I saw the double top forming, and I said, okay, if this keeps going, I'm going to have to buy a little bit higher, but I'd rather just not risk it. And then it goes into another it's the same cycle as this. And if I zoom into a different time resolution, you'll see it's a very similar thing. But instead of breaking down, you're doing this bullish move right at the top. This breaks out. As soon as it breaks above here, or even for me, above these candle closes here, I'm like, all right, this is fucking bullish. So, sure enough, you get a very nice reaction. Didn't take too long. You're right away. And those are the kind of plays that I like to take. So with BTC, I would expect that. I don't want to switch off of it. But with BTC, it's kind of the same thing. But instead of fucking around in the wave, I'll just wait until something happens. Like, I don't want to play with this. I'd rather wait to see it kind of go above and start to get some acceptance. And then, you can pretty much expect, when you have, all right, so this is from April 29th to July 6th. When you have this large of a chop going on, there's a lot of Bitcoin being exchanged and being accumulated. That's what this is. So either somebody is accumulating shorts, someone is accumulating longs. And whichever direction this breaks out, is going to have a lot of strength behind it, because whoever has their core position in here, the biggest player, the biggest fish in the pond per se, is now controlling a lot of the supply. So this person can now decide how high it goes. But either direction, like moves above and below these lows and highs, you don't really want to play against it because it'll be a strong move. So for Bitcoin, I'm still not really playing it, to be honest. I don't care about it that much. There have been alts and stocks that just look way more bullish. Like, so I'd rather play something like this that breaks out, or something like this. So I'll give you an example. And let me see, BNB on the BTC side. So we see here, it's not the same, but you have a crash cycle develop here. Bottom falls out, you get the capitulation, and then fake out here, then a retest of this low. I like participating on BNB here. I think it's a decent spot to take some risk, and for me, my stop is below this low. I'm willing to risk that. And you know, to make those decisions, you have to understand a bit about risk management. I don't know what your risk appetites are, but for me, you just position size appropriately. Where if it were to go below this level, BNB also not a very risky coin of like not having liquidity. If it were to go below this level, then I'll take the loss and then I'll figure it out or play something else or wait to see what happens. I don't want to stick around to see what happens if it breaks this level. And it could just be a fake out and it could pump through, and if that's the case, so be it. But the way I structured this trade, I entered around, oh, it went up a bit. I entered around here, 169 something, and I have my stop below there. So really not risking too much. So I like this structure here, kind of similar to what Vet did at its bottom. Yeah, let's do some questions. Rom, do you think past weeks are similar to prior to the halving when BTC was stuck at 7K around April 4th and a few weeks after it breaks up? Huh. No, not exactly the same. Oops. What did I do? I wouldn't say it's the same at this point. Sentiment is somewhat different. And just looking at the price action, so this right here is from April 28th to July 20th, and this is from March 12th to, so like in a similar time duration, this went more than 2x, and this same time duration, you're just kind of right in the middle of a larger range. So it's a bit different, and we're doing that right against resistance. So I wouldn't say it's the same. Do I think this will break out? Personally, yes, I do. But I'd rather wait to see it do it before actually playing, because there are other stocks, altcoins, that look clearly bullish. So I'll give you another example: Microsoft, and a lot of these I gave you guys publicly on Twitter. So people are like, "Oh, KJ only shows his wins." Like, first off, like the reason why I'll do that is like I'll show signals that were given, is because a lot of those are smaller cap. And back in 2017, like I would, if I posted something like a small cap and like, hey, buy this, like here's a signal, I know for certain I was able to influence the price action. There were bots connected to my tweets. People would press, FOMO in as soon as I said it. And not to say that I would have that same effect now, but it's just something I want to avoid. And, within the dojo, which is the private group, I make calls on stuff, and, sometimes it takes 2 weeks to play out. And the reason being is there's a lot of different trades being offered across all markets, and the group isn't that big. So it's not like the second I make a call, it's like people FOMO in like crazy. Like, you can look at the timing of the calls and see that there's no real major impact of what I'm doing. And if I start to see that, then I'm going to have to pivot away from those smaller plays. But anything large that I feel like people can participate in, I have no problem sharing publicly. It's nothing. I'm not trying to keep everything to myself. If I see something that looks good, I'll say it. And the same goes for this stream. Yeah. Yeah, Link is in price discovery. But, yeah, so Microsoft, I mean, you have, it makes a new all-time high. Bullish retest, holds on here, and then it starts to take off. I mean, right now it's just in price discovery. This is bullish looking. It was very clearly bullish looking. This is the kind of chart that I want to trade. I mean, as opposed to this sideways chop action, and especially when you're trading chop or like a shockwave like BTC, and it's right in the middle of it, you're really kind of guessing, and you can't. It's tough to structure risk, like to win a lot without risking a lot. I always say you gotta either have your stop really tight or really loose, no half measures. And if you're keeping a really loose stop, then that kind of either you're gonna risk too much, or you're not gonna, your reward won't be too great. I like trades where you can have a good size position and know if you're right or wrong right away. So I'm looking for stuff like this. What else was there? What else do I like? Oh, all right. So might as well talk about this one. Actually, I have it up here. So this XRP, it's interesting enough. I don't see a lot of talk about it. you get a volume breakout here on this daily. Right now, let's zoom in a little bit. Even more. Oops, I hate when this does that. For some reason, XRP always does that. So on the hourly, you can see you have this kind of Adam and Eve formation here. Now, we are at resistance, folks. But, similar to VET, this breaks out to the upside, and we actually did make a high. We got higher here. This is very close to being really bullish. Let's put it that way. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know. But the structure of this can make a strong move like really quickly. So I like playing this. I'm actually in it. I like what the daily did. There's a tremendous amount of room, of course. And I actually tweeted about it. And let's see. Okay, so this guy's a sad clown. Volunteer to be with him in his life. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Yeah. It's already lost the value of the pump. Ripple just dumped on their holders. Scam coins pumped the hardest. Yep, just another short opportunity. So people don't seem to be believing in it. I haven't seen many people talk about it. Nevertheless, this is worth noting. And if this level gets breached here, like you see it like 2050 or something, I would expect at least, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of the next area, 2230, something like that. If it gets through that, then it's going to make a very strong move. So I would keep an eye on that. It's nice because you have the ability to play that with leverage. Tron, another coin that I've been looking at.
There's Tron 4.0 coming out very soon.
Yeah, they have their conference is starting tomorrow, I believe. Right? Mm-hmm. So this is another one. I gave you guys this publicly. One. Yeah. So July 2nd might be time for them. If you haven't watched Chappelle's show, you must be some sort of Zoomer or something. But that's Tron Carter, if you didn't know. So July 2nd, right around here. That was the signal. So don't say I didn't do anything for you guys. But same kind of deal. This is the level, though. 200 sats is key. For me, I think it's a big psychological point. I will take profit if it gets there. But keep an eye out. This is a very bullish structure starting to develop. And if we can push through 200 sats on this, watch out. Can make a strong move. Any alts you looking at, Carti? Have you charted Tomo? I think you did, right? Have you been playing Tomo? I know that's one of the coins you play.
I'm still long Tomo. When I play these alts, I go small size just because.
Let's look at Tomo. Yeah,
I guess I'm still PTSD, from 2018.
This chart is pretty fucking bullish, man.
I'm up like 72% on this thing. I got in at Tomo.
It looks great. Looks very strong to me, guys.
I got in at 3998.
I'd say that. Yeah, I mean, looking at this, I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but I would say 9,000 sats is a very reasonable target at this point.
Let me just see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at like 8250 first, and then like you're 9,000 exactly. I think
like 9,000, and if it keeps going, then it's gonna make a new all-time high.
This market is this DeFi bullshit is such a fucking scam. Remember when Tomo came out? Oh, this is the Vietnamese Ethereum. The other day they just said, oh, now we're going DeFi.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fucking ripping. It goes 16% today. Like,
hey. It doesn't have to make sense, like
right?
At the end of the day, like there's a lot of new people that are watching streams with we have 50 people watching right now. These other streams have like 20,000, 40,000 views, and those people are beating them in the head with DeFi. But they're not telling them where to get them, I didn't see these guys do in-depth streams on Uniswap. I've been telling people about Uniswap for 2 months, we get no views. But that's how you know you're in the right place. Like literally, you and 50 other people in the room, to the viewer, understand that you're somewhere that other people aren't, and that's kind of where you want to be in markets overall. You don't want to be where 40,000 people are, right? You want to
Yeah.
be amongst 50 people watching somebody that's lived through a lot of this shit and I mean, learned from the mistakes, knows what to look for, and frankly has a pretty good track record aside from, being on the wrong side of a bear market. But, since then, I would say, if you follow these streams or follow me on Twitter, like I haven't put you guys in the wrong place very often. Let's put it that way. And that's that. True DGen, what do you think of XHV? XHV is a fucking coin that I've been talking about since January. I'm always like, yo, this shit looks mad bullish, and I never buy it. So I'm very salty about that one. It was a great move. It was clearly bullish on many occasions. I don't know. I just couldn't pull the trigger. Super bullish. But here, I will wait to see what happens. Cardi, did you do something with your sound?
No, why is it fucked up?
Yeah, I'm getting the echo now. RSR, oh, that's another one. Notice how excited and happy people. RSR, by the way, on this stream here, I gave you guys an entry here. This is the fucking entry I gave you, okay? Right here. Okay? So people that say don't bring value, right? You have the high, falls off, start to work its way back up. Here's your neckline. Make a little shockwave around there. Another one above, bull flag, breaks out. As soon as it gets above here, I mean, obviously, what are you doing with your life? Why are you not longing this, right? It retests, gives you another entry. At this point, when this popped, go to your Twitter feed on June 27th and look at how many people said, hey, welcome to the community, RSR bag holders. Oh, all these guys. What they don't realize, you see this? This is a fucking mega ass bull flag right here from May 9th, 2019. The amount of accumulation done by the RSR market maker was a thing of beauty. It literally shook everybody out in this move. And this market maker was able to corner the market. And this was a test pump. This is what you call a test pump. Make another shockwave, kick them all out one more time, retest this low, and then it starts to break out. Now, nobody has this thing anymore. It can go anywhere they want it to go. And, at the end of the day, like you have to look at this move and instead of saying, oh, there's bag holders, this and that, you have to say this is a buy the dip opportunity. As this is grinding back up, nobody is saying shit about RSR. There's a lesson in that. And, the reality is it retests the top of this and starts to grind up. At that point, you should be considering buying, if not market buying at that point, period. And now, as it goes into price discovery, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but from, like, I guess, a fundamental perspective, this is still only on Huobi. I mean, you have to think that with the partnerships and people involved with this project, that eventually will get listed on some sort of other tier 1 exchange, be it Coinbase, Binance, anything. I would expect more exchange listings to happen. They haven't done any yet. They haven't really announced much news. And this is, on previous streams, I've said this is kind of like a chain link type of coin. It's not quite there yet, but there is a following around it that I could potentially see this becoming fanatical in the future. So, I have some. I'm holding on. I take profit. I move stops up. I buy dips. This is something that I'm playing, and it's starting to heat up. After all this, now it starts to move, and everybody's ready to sell. That's a sign of something that has more upside. So I would definitely keep an eye on this one. You don't always want to buy at all-time high. You kind of want to look to see what happens. But if this continues to break out, it's hard to tell how high this is going to go. So, I would pay attention to this one. What else? Can US, I don't know. I'm not going to answer exchange questions. DeFi is the hot topic right now. Exactly. It's just kind of like, it's just another cycle. Getting people excited. Crypto Bits. I remember you liked ICX and one. I was wondering how you feel about these projects now. Funny you ask. ICX. What do you think about these, Cardi?
I think, You got like you had your ICX pump. It's been pumping past couple of days. You called that. I think like one is starting to look good, and then you have to always also look at Aeon, right?
So looking, yeah, exactly. Good point. Looking at this, you see this daily candle? Go back to the stream me and Stillman did on February 4th. Some guy was like talking about market buying like all in like here or something. I'm like, no, don't do that. This is gonna definitely take some time to continue. And what you'll notice is when you get this much volume and this violent of a move, you get this, right? You're starting to see a trend, right? This. Bullshit. This is bullshit to play. You don't want to play this. You want to play this. This is what you want to play, not this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
Like this is nice. So but look how it started. It started like that, right? I've shown you a few charts that look like that. But you want to identify this as it's developing, and then you get in and you just manage your risk, move the stops up, and sometimes you get this. This isn't going to happen every time, but once it does and you get this blow off top, you get something like this. And the thing is, this has been going on since February to July. So we got 5 months of reaccumulation, guys. So if this starts to break up and crosses over here, like starts to get towards the top here, this is going to have some momentum. And you'll notice that if that happens, they'll do some sort of news or some sort of bullshit news will come out to kind of justify it. But the reality is this is being probably accumulated for a pump. And it's something that I'm keeping a very, very close eye on to add more to the position. In case this starts to really go, the move that comes after this, if this breaks out, will be strong, to say the least. Like,
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
be very strong. So keep an eye on this, and if it does happen to break out, I would participate. Like people on Twitter, just like anytime they see a coin go up, they tell you not to buy it, and they don't understand why they're saying that. Don't listen to those people, okay? You know, there's it doesn't mean buy the top and hold on for a 90% loss, but if you want to be a trader, like you don't want to just like for some reason, and I thought this way when I first got in, was like I wanted to buy the thing that went down the most. Like this shit went down 99%. Let me buy that. Like, not a great strategy. But start to get comfortable buying something that's going up. People that have made a lot of money, it's like one of the most common strategies that they say or lessons is like, don't add to your losers, add to your winners. It sounds simple, but isn't always that easy for people to understand that concept, because you have people telling you don't FOMO, don't FOMO. It's not FOMO if you've structured your trade. Like, I guarantee, looking at VET, people saw it at 106, 107 sats where I'm buying there because I've got my confirmation. I feel that this is bullish. I'm sure there are other people saying, "Oh, VET did a 2x in the past month. Don't FOMO," right? But they don't know why. So like, look out for those people. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Juan, different chart than ICX.
Like, it looks like it already like started making information a bit more,
Yeah. This is
Like it had like a slow grind down, a little like bump, and like if
this
this is a
right
higher
here.
low.
I like this. So you have your accumulation range here after this. This breaks down. Bull flag breaks down. Get accumulation. Then you get the fake out right here. This is what I look for. I've been playing this a lot, actually. And if you look, this accumulation isn't too much different than here. So you're in the same price range, but this one breaks down. You get the fake out. It breaks back into this range. As soon as it comes here, and it'll retest twice right here, right around 1890, something like that, 1900. Retests, fakes out, retests, then it breaks above. That's a very good sign. Retested this again, and it's doing plenty of retests. It's slowly grinding up. Eventually, this is going to start to get more vertical, in my opinion. So I like this. I like what both of them are doing, and without even looking at Aeon and having not have looked at it in a long time, I can tell you it's probably doing something similar. So let's look at Aeon. I'm curious. Now I'm curious.
Yeah,
What is Aeon doing?
it looks like ICX.
Yeah. Okay. Little different. But these three like to pump together. So I would keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Um, let's see. TRX, yeah, I talked about TRX. Grand Crew, what up? When you take profit, do you go into USD or BTC? Both, depending on what BTC looks like. Both. One of the differences between KJ now versus KJ 2017. KJ 2017 didn't have any USDT in his portfolio. It was all alts or BTC. That's it. Now I make sure to kind of add cash to my allocation, regardless. So I'll go to USDT. I don't mind doing that. I'll go to straight cash. I'll definitely keep some of that in my portfolio. Knowles is
Link is
mega
pumping
bullish.
again.
Knowles is mega bullish. Quietly, real quiet.
Okay, I'll tell you why Knowles is bullish. Let me tell you, okay?
What?
So have you heard? I'll tell you why Knowles is bullish. You heard about this fucking coin that they have now called the Aleph?
I don't even know. No, I haven't.
All right, so there's this Uniswap coin called Aleph. Okay, it's like fucking. It's starting to. It just got listed on Hotbit. It's fucking pumping like crazy on Uniswap.
Hmm.
Anyhow, the story behind Nulls is if you staked Nulls, they airdrop like it's instead of like doing the ICO, you just get the ICO airdropped. So now like they're doing like they have all these DeFi projects coming up, so people are buying these fucking nulls and staking them, so they can get
Oh.
atoms.
Huh. I don't know. I just look at the chart. The shit is just mad bullish.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Look at
saying
that.
like that's like one of the fundamental reasons why.
It's coming up to resistance soon, but for this one, I like 6K, low 6K, maybe a re-entry here. That area should get touched, or it could break out. But this looks like it could have been a top for now.
Yo, Link is pumping again.
Again,
It's up 5% today. Like since like the last
mega
2 hours.
bullish, mega bullish.
Bro, this thing doesn't fucking stop.
Ooh, there it goes.
Oh my god, it's gonna go to $6.
Sick.
Bro, bro,
Um, what's up,
it
Don?
just hit
How
six
you doing?
dollars. It just hit $6.
On what exchange?
What?
Which exchange? I see 565
Binance
on
futures.
Kuku. I mean
Binance
on
futures.
Coinbase.
Binance futures.
Okay.
I'm just watching the futures. Wow.
Link. Hey, it's like the most bullish coin, man. Shit is mad bullish, bros. Like,
Fuck.
like if you're in crypto, you should have some.
I don't know zero.
Let's see.
Instead, I
Somebody asked
own
about
fucking
Tezos, right?
I own Solano. Instead, I own Solano instead. I don't even know why.
Solano. Solano pumped pretty hard.
Yeah, then it dumped like 12% in one candle.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I don't love this. This should break down but it doesn't have to. It really doesn't have to. Um, you know, for Tezos, I'd be a buyer here as opposed to a seller. But
Yeah, if Link is pumping, Tezos is next.
yeah, it could.
They work
It could.
together. I just noticed it on the fucking on the futures when I plays on futures. Like sorry, I'm only talking USD price.
Hmm.
But once that means the same thing, but it's gonna pump.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
If Link is pumping, this fucking thing's gonna pump too.
So what else? What else? What else? I don't know. I think I said it all for now. If you guys enjoyed this, like, can I get a like? I can't even buy a like, guys. Like, for real. Like, the last video I had like 5 likes or some shit. It was pathetic. It was really pathetic. I felt some type of way. Like, I had like, now I need to see, but like, I think it got better. But in the beginning, it was like, I think I was like 9 to 4 likes to dislikes. I was like, these motherfuckers, like, I don't need to do this. Why am I doing this?
Dude.
Yeah, what is it? Oh no, this is what we're doing now. All right,
Oh yeah,
all
that's a
right.
coin, too. Like we haven't looked at it in a while. Like Leo.
Like get out if I'm. Yeah, 13 to 5. Like really? Come on, guys. 13 to 5. It's fucked up. Like, show me some love for real.
What about Leo? I haven't looked at
Leo,
it in forever.
Leo. That's a Bitfinex coin, right? Mm.
I haven't looked at that in forever, and there was so much like FUD behind it.
USDT looks pretty promising. This isn't bad. This is pretty good looking. For me, like a
Yeah.
dollar 30, I'll buy over that. Like, or even, yeah, I don't know. The safest is like to see if it goes over this level here, but it doesn't look bad. I mean, this is a nice run on the USDT side. Let's see what it looks like on BTC side. Where is it? It has a BTC pairing, doesn't it? Or no? There it is.
What, Leo? I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is close. So, I mean, here's your cycle. This is your line. There's the bear market. Where's that? 142. If this continues, you can entry now would be a bit aggressive, um, but above this looks pretty good. You don't have to buy it the second it crosses. It goes up, retests, then it go up like that. This is where you buy. Okay, that's how I would play that. If not, there's a million different things that look good. You don't have to play it, but for this, it's close. It's close. It could start to grind up. I like it. He said we just lazy. Yeah, I know. I know you guys are lazy. I'm lazy too. I don't, I'd be lazy too. So if I put in the effort to do these fucking things, the least you could do is let me get a like. Like, let me get a like. I don't care if I don't get any views. Really, as long as you guys get value, you guys make some money. Like, that makes me happy. I'm not trying to be the biggest guy on YouTube at this point, because the content that I do is not going to resonate with everybody. There's too many stupid people out there that just want somebody to fucking dump their bags on them, and that's not me. So I'm trying to give you guys some ideas and thoughts to help you kind of navigate this market on your own, and also point you in the right direction. But at the same time, help you better understand what's happening, as opposed to just telling you, hey, this is TA, and this is the fundamental analysis on DeFi and all this bullshit. That's not me. So, never going to be super popular on here again. But, you know, at the end of the day, like I said, if you guys make some money, and that makes me happy. XRP feels like TRX. Lonely. Yeah, so any other questions, thoughts before we jump off? I think I'm done. My gas station Viagra headache is coming back, and I need to get some aspirin or something. CTSI. I'll take a look at that. I'm not doing too much Uniswap tokens. They're a little too small for my taste. Too small. I don't want to talk about it. This can go on forever, for a long time, as we saw with RSR. It's not telling me it's going to break out just yet. This may need a little bit more time. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I just I see better stuff out there, personally. Digibite second leg. Yeah, most of the old guard, quote unquote, are still doing the same shit. So, they're very, very popular. But hey, it is what it is, right? A bull market is coming back if Superman is making videos. Yeah, I remember when he tapped out multiple times. Don Bitcoins, Digibite. Let's see. What do we got? This just listed. This wasn't on. I guess I have to look at Bittrex.
No, it was on. Yeah, it was got listed on
I
Binance.
didn't realize it just listed. Digibite. I see. That reminds me of Superman. Could be, but you should know my answer to this. I'm not ready to play right in the middle of this thing. But if it gets over this, yeah, like over 250, I'd buy that. Not here. Gotta get over this. What else? RNDR. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a mega shit coin. It's not even on here. Yeah, that must be a Uniswap. UTK. What is that? Unibright? UTK. Oh, UTK. Yeah, that's a bullish coin. Called that on this show right here, boys. Remember that? Around 100 sats. UTK. Look at this fake out right here. Look at this fucking fake out. And then the moon. Watch out for this. You get the nice move. It's like, hey, it's breaking out. And it goes back down. At this point, everybody is sad and shit. They're like, fuck this coin. And then boom. See that? Look out for that. We see that on a lot of coins. We saw that on, just to show you, give you something else to look for, right? OGN, here, did it right here. See? Zoom in. This move, right here. See, the fake out. Boom, takes off. H bar. That's one I look out for. Oh. This did it somewhere. I thought it did. I guess kind of, not the same thing, but similar move here.
Also, people on the stream should know that KNC has some mainnet thing going tomorrow, like where if you hold KNC, you get ETH as rewards, like a fraction of like actual ETH. So there should be a good KNC sell off, and I think it's already getting priced in right now. It's down 2%.
Yeah, sell the news. Crypto Yankee, what are some things to look out for when it's time to get out of vaults and hop on BTC train? Anything other than BTC dominance? BTC dominance, but also like looking at where BTC is in its own price. Like if BTC starts to do something that's decidedly bullish, and if you find that alts, and this is how I've been able to be on top of, like, to the minute, some BTC pumps that were pretty crazy. I'll watch the correlation between the BitMEX alts and BTC. And there will be times where BTC is going up and the alts are going up with it, like today. And if BTC breaks over a key level, so for instance, this trend line, let's say BTC goes over this, right? And we're now at like here. Let's say BTC goes over 97.50 and it starts to move up. And all of a sudden you start to see all the BitMEX alts pull back. That's kind of your sign to get the fuck out of alts, because BTC is about to do something. So I'll watch for like the relationship between alts and BTC down to the minute. Especially when BTC gets to a point of real interest. So when it gets to a pivotal level, like I guess they call it like the pivot level, or well, I don't know what these guys call it these days. But, if it's at a level that I've deemed or is clearly a key area, and it gets through, and at the same time as it gets through, you start to see alts react in a negative way, while they had been correlated positively with BTC. So BTC is going up, alts are going up. If BTC gets through a level and all of a sudden the correlation becomes inverse, where now BTC is going up and the alts are pulling back, it's like when you see that, it's not too late. Even if they hit you for like 2-3% or something like that, it's still not too late, because if BTC continues to break out, you could lose 20-30% or more. Especially if it breaks out of this wave altogether and dominance rises. So if you see BTC breaking out and dominance does something bullish, like, you don't realize, like, this can break out and BTC can go to 17K and your alts can go down versus BTC by like 50% plus. And that can happen in a matter of a month. And then your alts can pump again and make highs. It can do well. But, there were plenty of times where this happened in 2017 and other cycles as well, where, if I just gotten out of alts, like I would have done even better. So, don't be scared to stop out, especially if BTC is doing something bullish. And trust me when I say this, if this breaks out to the upside, it's going to be significant. I'm not guaranteeing that it will, but if it does, it's not going to just go like $500. It's going to be more. So, you know, definitely keep an eye on what alts are doing as BTC crosses key levels. So with that, I think I'm about done. Anything else? Thanks for the likes, guys. Hey, you guys hooked me up. Appreciate it. Carti, anything you want to add before we jump off? I want to thank you for joining. I know it was late notice, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here. And yeah, I think Link is pumping. It's going to be a great short when it's time. You might get yourself like an 8 to 10%. I remember when it first hit like price discovery back, like I think when maybe like $3 was price discovery. This is a long time ago. I think I saw it on FTX and I just like shorted the shit out of it. Maybe it was $4 or something like that. It paid well. So just be careful if you're in a link short. But if you look at the 1 minute, like if you look at the 1 minute chart right now, I'm not going to load it up on Jake's thing, but you can see where there's like resistances, and it seems like it's every like full 10 cents is a resistance or a support. So you could just play that small range on the 1 minute because these things are really, really volatile. And KNC, don't forget, sell the news.
Yep. We might as well pull that chart up real quick. See what it looks like. You always kind of want to sell the news. KNC has been performing really well.
All day it's been melting though. Like
yeah, slow
it's high and then like it's consistently melting.
Yeah, this is gonna
it's down 7%.
bounce. It did. This is the bounce right here. Then this box probably, and the bottom of it is this. So, this is where it could go, guys. That's a lot, actually. Holy shit. I don't know if it goes all the way to the bottom of this, but
this would go to $1.20 before you know it.
Yeah.
It's $1.65 right now. Like it could go to $1.20. If it sells the news tomorrow, I'm shorting Kyber pretty hard tomorrow.
That's a great play if it happens. I mean, yeah, that's a big move. So
if we break 155, like I'll short fucking heavy. That'll be size. I'll have size in that one for sure.
Oh. Yeah. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you liked it, drop me a like, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll be back Wednesday with another